So, getting rid of all the greenery, I am officially confiscating this roof terrace, and it's gonna be my temporary workshop. This place has got to remain chicken free, you know. And I just removed some of the crates on the steps that I put there to keep the chickens out. But he's seen his chance and... Oh. Hey, big boy, I don't want to have any poops here. I really don't want to have any poops here. No. Maybe later when Nadia's here you can use the terrace. Yeah. No. Oh. Oh. Oh, hey. I need to work here, guys. Come. Seriously. Yeah, the idea of redoing this cupboard or vamping it up is basically just to make it to size and putting on the new top and giving it a good clean, but I can't help myself. I need to paint this. It's just I don't know, compulsion, I guess. So I've taken everything apart, removed all the hinges and hardware, and I've cleaned everything with St. Mark, it's called. This is yeah, just a good degreaser. Cleans it all. It's been drying, and now I'm going to give it an extra clean with this product. This used to be sold as painting without sanding. They changed the name because couldn't live up to the name, but it still says, well, it makes sanding not necessary. It's not needed to sand. So, and I've used it a lot before. Yeah, I'm happy about that. So, just gonna do all the surfaces again with that stuff. Rinse it off, let it dry, and then go with a base coat. So nice to be able to work while it's raining and I'm still dry. Just rolling on a sukush, a base coat, and I'm always doing that, always, yeah, well, yeah, I'm always doing that with this paint, and this is a sukush anti-tache. That's a very heavy, thick undercoat. And it's not the cheapest, but in the end I think it is the cheapest, because you often only need 1 or 2 coats. On bare wood I think we did three coats, and then a top coat, 1 single top coat. Yeah, this, I don't really skimp on glue, paint, caulk, that sort of things, because the cheapest is just to do it once proper and not have to redo it in the end. It's just the most economical. And now I want to have the exterior super matte satin, non-glossy. Don't want to have too much gloss in the house. And I've just picked up an old can of paint. This is years old, haven't been used. I'm gonna try this year to use up all my old paints, because the collection is getting larger and larger, and the amount of space I have available is less and less. So what I'm gonna do, and this is something I have practiced before in the bathroom last year, is I'm gonna mix paint with lime, and that will make for a very dull paint. Now this is a colored lime. It's got yellow ochre in it, and I do that because I don't want the cupboard to become bone white, you know. I want it to have a little bit off. So now the amount of lime and paint that I mix, just go by feel, really. I mean, I still should be able to apply the paint with a brush, so it's got to be at least that thin. Now this lime is well, activated with water, but in this paint there's no water. It's a white spirit based paint, so the lime is not really going to do much apart from providing a dull non-gloss coat. Can't really tell much about the color in this bright sunlight, but it's definitely not white, not white. Yeah, and the amount of gloss we'll have to assess that after it's been drying for a while, eh? This is going to be interesting. You can't tell from there. The lime is a bit lumpy, and I'm sort of dissolving it in the paint while I roll over it. It provides for a little bit of a patchy color in place. I think that's going to be interesting. You know, the difference between a bad paint job and a good paint job is just, you just do it over, you know. You sand it down and do it over, do it again. It's no big deal. Okay, so that's basically finished. Well, there's still a few things I need to do. I need to do the inside of this door, give it another coat of paint, paint those patches here where the hinges used to be. This was sort of a a rubbish bin type of arrangement. I've changed the hinges over, so now it's a door, more useful for us. My propane tank is installed inside. Still a bit uneasy about having propane tanks in the house. I'm coming from a boating background where the rule is that propane and butane tanks should be stored in a gas locker which is vented directly overboard. These gases, they tend to sink, so they are vented directly overboard instead of accumulating somewhere in the deepest part on board. These rules don't apply to houses, but I make still sure that everything is connected properly and that the hose of the gas tank is in date. They are rated for about 10 years, I believe, and the date of manufacturing is stamped on the hose. So make sure that your hose is in date and not porous. Right, so that's in there. The color scheme, that's an interesting one. Yeah, the first coat you see is the top coat, which is really matte and a little bit colored with the colored lime. Then that's sanded partially off, and then you see the white base coat of paint that I put on. Then below that you see the original paint, a bit yellowish, and then below that you see in places the original wood coming through. It is quite eclectic, but it's not too much in my opinion. It's I'm quite happy with it. These doorknobs are replaced. These ones you see here I had from a cupboard we used in the little house when we were living there. And and the countertop is basically a cut off of our kitchen countertop that I by mistake cut off in the wrong way, and we had to buy a new kitchen countertop. So I had this laying around, but it's come to good use. Like like everything, you know, I try not to throw things away because it's just much more fun to reuse them later. So I think this is mission succeeded. I still need to wait a couple of days. Oh, and I need to replace those magnetic closing latches because they are all looking a bit scruffy, the old ones. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, this wood was in a desperate need of conditioning. Obviously, because it's the top of the table, catches all the sunlight, rain. So yeah, that wood deteriorates the fastest. I mean, if you compare it to the legs and the underside of the table. So I sanded it down and then I've treated it with a water-based lasur, because I didn't have any other lasur around which was in the color that I prefer. I want to keep it light, otherwise this whole area is going to be so dark, you know, considering the railings. See, and this part turns it into a larger table. Yeah, and this part has been sitting stored underneath, and the varnish, I think this is a PU varnish they used, was still in pretty decent condition, but I'm going to sand it off and treat it with the same lasur as this one. Yeah, I'm not super happy with the water-based lasurs, but I might either just go with it or I might go over it with a white spirit based lasur. Actually, I might go with it, why not? Well, on another note, you know, one more coat would be nice, maybe. Yeah, I'll think about it. Oh, and then we got these chairs. And you can see, this is all pretty decent quality, you know. We bought it second hand, but all this furniture is of pretty decent quality. But then again, the PU type varnish has worn off in places. So what are we gonna do with them? Because sanding these chairs back properly is gonna take, well, for the 4 chairs that I have, it's gonna take a week. Imagine you've got this. Can I have a moment? You have to sand in between all these spokes and all the ridges, and that's just an absolute nightmare. And the varnish on here is of pretty good quality, so you gotta, you know, it takes quite a bit of sanding. So I'm not gonna sand it because it's just not worthwhile. You know, if I have to spend a week on it, then we would have better been off buying new chairs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pressure wash them, and then I'm going to go over it with some sandpaper, roughly, and then I'm going to treat them with the white spirit based lasur. And hopefully that will turn out nice. I mean, you will get color differences. Exactly with this chair, you can see it pretty good. I mean, here the lasur has worn off completely, and on these spokes there's still, or the lasur, sorry, the varnish, and on here it's still intact. So you're going to see a color difference, but that might even be charming. We'll see. I'm going to pressure wash these. Hey is really accentuating everything I say, huh? Apart from this bit then. So I've given the table, the legs and the top another coat with lasure, and this is chêne moyenne, that is oak, yeah, middle or so. It's quite a light, it's actually very light. And this is on base of the white spirit. So I've done the legs and I have done the tabletop. So that's a white spirit based lasure on top of a water based lasure. But that works. The other way around I'm not sure of. And now I gotta do the chairs, and I was planning on doing them with the same lasure because I really do like the color. But then if you look at the chairs you see that they're quite patchy. Blasted them with the high pressure water, but yeah, they've become quite patchy, and I'm really not going to sand them all. It's just going to cost me a lot more time, too much time, not worthwhile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some darker lasure on them, the same stuff that I've used for the railing, and see if I can sort of get away with that. I have no idea. If it covers enough to masquerade the patchiness, or in a perfect world make the patchiness look good. It's also possible, huh? Now if I compare the two chairs, the one that has received a treatment and the one without a treatment, there is definitely a huge difference. Yeah, the thing is, you know, with the tabletop, I sanded it back to bare wood, and I sanded the wood smooth, and I treated it, so that's new. That's basically new. This is not new, this is conditioned. You can feel on the surface of the wood that it's not been sanded back to bare wood. But anyway, it'll do.
Ouais, bah jusqu'à présent.
C'est là. Pour ce qu'on veut faire.
Et puis,
C'est où? Ah, c'est là.
Les aimants là.
Oui.
Et voici monsieur.
I'm having a sandwich andouillette. An andouillette is a sausage you see here a lot. It's made from innards, pork. I think it's innards. I don't really like it, andouillette. But I just keep on eating it until I like it. It's a challenge. They also had merguez. I do like merguez, but that would just be too easy.